But first, I want to show you this bougie gym that we attended in Kuala Lumpur. You can see all of Penang from here. It was right up my street. The flavors were amazing. And on to the final leg of our trip, Langkawi. Welcome to the Malaysia vlog. We traveled around Kuala Lumpur, Penang and Langkawi. This video is going to be focused mainly on what we did in Penang and Langkawi. Here's a few highlights from our Kuala Lumpur trip. There's a separate Kuala Lumpur vlog if you want to see that. But first, I want to show you this bougie gym that we attended in Kuala Lumpur. So we're in a gym called Babel Fit. It's a gym about 20 minutes from the city centre. It's very bougie, luxury facilities, top spec equipment, pool, top classes, all of that good stuff. So Rebecca and I are going to get in an upper body session. We're going to have a quick dip and then we're going to head over to Chinatown. So next stop was Penang. We were here for 3 nights. Penang is rich in culture and known for its food. So I'm looking forward to trying some interesting dishes. We are currently out for dinner at a restaurant called Chias. So let's go inside and see what it's saying. So first restaurant was a restaurant called Chias in the heart of Georgetown. This place had great reviews on Google. It was quiet, but it was clearly somewhere popular with the locals. I got the chicken, shredded chicken with rice and salad, and Rebecca got a local dish with like prawns and eggs. The pavements in Penang were mad. I couldn't even call it a pavement. It was like just a narrow strip where you could walk down. There was oncoming traffic and motorbikes weaving in and out. And then when you stepped over into the side of the road for safety, it was just like gutters and drainage. Every man for himself. We managed to survive by the skin of our teeth, and we stumbled across this bar called Nomad. Again, great reviews on Google, very intimate, the staff were cool, very friendly, and these drinks, kind of like a Singapore sling, were absolutely banging. So it's day number 2 in Penang, and we are at the iconic Penang Hill. It's definitely worth a visit if you come to Penang. You can see all of Penang from here. It really does give stunning views. To get up here, you do need to get a train. I call it a mountain train. Essentially, it's just a train that takes you from ground level all the way up to the top of the hill. If you were to walk it, it
would take 3.5 hours.
Yeah, 3.5 hours, but in that train it takes like
10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
So definitely just get the train, guys.
Definitely worth it.
Unless you're a hiker.
Yes. Leave at least 2 hours to come here to make sure you get sufficient time to get all the views. So there are a number of places to eat on Penang Hill, but David Brown's Garden Restaurant was definitely our vibe. It was the highest garden restaurant in Penang, and yeah, the flowers and decor were lovely, and the service of the staff and the food was there to match. Rebecca got a coffee macchiato, I got chicken shish and sweet potato fries, and I think Rebecca had a burger. When you visit Penang Hill, make sure to visit the Habitat, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Essentially an untouched, preserved rainforest. Everything is lovely and green, and the views are incredible. Definitely worth a visit. One thing I will add is that if you are going to visit Penang Hill, you do need to be relatively fit. There's a lot of walking and a lot of steep hills. So if you're old or you have injuries or you're not very mobile, you might want to give this one a miss. If you come to Penang Hill, the Curtis Crest Treetop Walk is definitely worth a visit. There are great views of Penang, and when it's clear enough, you can even see Langkawi in the distance. The views were absolutely breathtaking. There were loads of wildlife in the Habitat. This monkey's normally in hiding and a bit aggressive, but thankfully today he was on his best behavior. So for dinner, we went to Little India because we wanted some authentic Indian cuisine, and boy did we find it, Desakra. This place comes highly recommended, great authentic Indian cuisine. It was quiet when we went in, but it filled up later on. The reviews on Google were amazing. The staff were great. We got butter chicken, naan, and rice, and I got a chicken biryani. Ironically, this was only the second time I've had biryani. Strangely enough, it was right up my street. The flavors were amazing. It was spicy, but not too spicy. Yeah, I would definitely recommend this restaurant if you come to Penang. Morning, so our third and final day in Penang. And the plan for today is to head to a beach called Batu Ferringhi, which is considered the nicest beach in Penang. But first, we are at a coffee shop called Norm, which is like a Japanese micro roastery. It's quite cool, very quirky, very Instagrammable. We have got a flat white, similar to a flat white Rebecca got. I got a green tea, and then we got a waffle and ice cream to share. So yeah, let's wash this down and head over to the beach. 9 out of 10. Wow. So we are at Batu Ferringhi Beach. It's a nice beach to be honest, but to be frank, it's not what we thought it would be in terms of just the general beach vibe. Even the loungers are basically garden chairs, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure if we're going to stick around or whether we're going to do something else, TBC. We had a choice of doing two other things. One was the Penang National Park and the other one was the Cameron Islands. Because we've already done Penang Hill, we're not massively up for doing huge hikes, but if that's your gig, they're two things that you might want to consider. But yeah, we'll decide what to do in the next 5-10 and then go from there. So today did not go as planned. We ended up leaving the Batu Ferringhi beach and coming to the Shangri-La down the road for a spa day. I know we couldn't help ourselves, but it just wasn't what we were expecting. So yeah, later on we'll head to dinner in Georgetown and then we will head to Langkawi tomorrow. So we are off out to a Japanese restaurant called Tono Izakaya. Great. Izakaya, whatever. Again, I'll show you the name of the restaurant once we get there. But yeah, Japanese restaurant, let's see what it's saying. So yeah, Tono Izakaya, a Japanese restaurant in the heart of Georgetown. The decor was really cool, quite quirky. Again, it was very quiet. There weren't many people in there, but this place had great reviews. The staff were really, really friendly. The menu was extensive. It had a mixture of Japanese food and Asian fusion. I got the chicken donburi, we got some sushi, edamame beans, and I think a side of noodles. It was lovely, good food. Yeah, that food got inhaled in like 12 minutes.
Hey guys, what was that? Hey guys, we've just come from a Japanese restaurant where we had some really, really good food. And I think we had like about 4 or 5 dishes. So we're absolutely stuffed. But yeah, I'd say it was probably the best meal that we've had in Penang. And now we are on our way to find some dessert. We're going to try the shaved ice bingsu dessert. So yeah, we're going to go and try and find that now. But overall, we've loved Penang. It's been the most amazing food tour.
So for dessert, we went to a place called Ding Ding Bingsu. It was a cool little spot. They had so many different flavors of bingsu. They had croffles, tea, coffee. Bingsu is really, really popular in Penang. It's like desiccated ice cream. They've got different flavors with like wafers and tapioca on the side. For me, I'd say it was an acquired taste, but Rebecca loved it. So yeah, I definitely recommend if you come to Penang. So yeah, that kind of concludes our Penang trip. We're gonna head back to the hotel and then fly to Langkawi in the morning. And on to the final leg of our trip, Langkawi. We are on the final leg of our Malaysia trip. We are going to be here for 5 nights. We've picked a resort that is right on the best beach in Langkawi, which is the Senang Beach. Since being in Langkawi, to be honest, we spent the first couple of nights on the resort. As I said, we have the best beach on the island right behind us, and so we haven't really needed to leave. This is the first day we've come out, and we are doing an island tour of Langkawi. We are at the Dayang Bunting Geopark, which is like a massive freshwater lake, lovely views. And yeah, we're gonna hop around and see a bit more of the island. You forget, Malaysia is a Muslim country, so there are some places where there's no alcohol. So we were on our way to our second island. You can do these trips alone, but I would definitely recommend doing it with a tour guide because they can show you around and they know where they are going. We detoured to go and feed the eagles. Langkawi is known as the Eagle's Cave. They've got a rare kind of brown-winged eagle here. We essentially fed them like bread and fish and just watched them like swoop down. This was really cool. So next stop, we are at Salamat Datang. It's a lovely beach, very green, and it's not too busy, to be honest. The water seemed quite calm. This would normally be a snorkeling beach, but the tide is quite high today, and so yeah, we won't be doing any snorkeling, but we will definitely be going in for a dip. Rebecca seems to be enjoying herself over there, chilling in the shade. Look at the views. Whoa, unbelievable. I'll get you a nicer view in the water. Yeah, the views here are unbelievable, definitely worth the journey, and the waters are really clear. It looks like it would be an amazing place to snorkel. And this is a view of the beach. Best thing about this beach is that it's a little bit further out, and so you don't get as many people coming here. The other thing that we were told by the tour guide is that if you want a quieter experience of the beach, then it's best to come mid to late afternoon, between like 2 and 4 o'clock. If you come in the morning, more likely than not, it's going to be busy. Another great thing about staying on Penang Beach is that every single thing you need to do on this side of the coast is literally down there. So you may pay a little bit more to get a resort on Penang Beach because it is a hot spot, but yeah, down there you've got restaurants, bars and all that jazz, and so you don't really need to get taxis anywhere. Location wise, it is absolutely perfect. So yeah guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like it if you did, subscribe to my channel to follow me on this journey, and I'll see you again soon.